Alright, I personally returned. Everyone in the chat, do you have any questions for me, or for the players that have not already been answered?
I'm answering one now from Black Pearl Gamer here. I just won't type it. Yeah, he says, am I considering asking the sheriff why that symbol of Zemitzi, I think I got that right, is on all the cabs and such? And it's like, well, out of character, I'd really love Byron to meet the sheriff, just because I think that would be ridiculously hilarious. Because Byron has been saying things that are not exactly pro-Camarilla, and also he kind of has deep dark secret too. But to answer your question, no, I don't think Byron's ever thought of going to the sheriff with this information. He might go somewhere else, but not to the sheriff.
Oh, by the way, Theo Bell is... We don't even know if he's in the city yet right now. He's kind of important in the Camarilla.
It's kind of a big deal.
Well, the reason Byron's never questioned it is that he was told after the fact. He didn't actually see it. I mean, I guess I could have done an occult roll when he heard about it afterward, but it just never really came up in role-playing.
I don't think the two characters have even brought it up to you all yet. They are still coming down from the billboard.
It's true.
Well, yeah, well, I think what Correg meant was from the first session.
Yes.
Well, there's the thing. Just because something has the Ouroboros on it does not mean it's Samitsi. And on the other hand, not all Samitsi are Sabbat, so something just because something has Ouroboros on it does not mean Samitsi, and just because something's Samitsi does not mean it's Sabbat, so...
I thought that all of the Tzimitzi Tribu were in Transylvania.
Well, there are certainly Zemitzi themselves who are either powerful enough or foolish enough to go autarchus. Or even side with the Ivory Tower. It's just that, it'd be sort of the thing where you end up taking the flaw where you're a probationary sect member. It's a very rough go. Sort of like what the Ventru or the Bruja anti-tribute would have whenever they side with the Savan.
You would also have the probationary members if you were certain independent clans as well.
Well, you would only even take them on if they had something that you wanted. Otherwise, you just kill them. Just be safe. Am I right?
I guess
I think you are. Do we, the characters, know our sires? Yeah, I definitely know mine. As for asking for help, no. The way it was left with Byron and his sires, she essentially kicked him to the curb and said, make your mark in New York and don't talk to me until you have. So I don't think he's made his mark yet. He's not going to get any help from that quarter.
And David's sire died during the battle for New York.
Marcus doesn't know where his sire is. He hasn't seen her since 1980, if that.
Joseph's sire is a bit infamous and would probably be worthless.
Did you ever come up with a name for your sire, Sean? Some sort of infamous sounding name?
No, I didn't. I assumed infamous because they're one of the crazy Malks, one of the ones that end up doing the stupid shit that gives Malks the rather
Right.
horrible name.
I just was wondering if you actually, ever came up with a name for him. That's all.
No, I
So
didn't.
your sire was a fish milk?
Yeah.
He trolled his storyteller. At any rate, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Having a Malk sire sounds horrible. Well, it's not all Malkavians are bug fucking sane. Some of
Some are
them are high.
sociopaths.
Some are high. Some are OCD about everything.
Yeah, they're
All
definitely
kinds.
very functional members. Carter Vanderweyden is a Malkavian.
All kinds of different mental disorders.
At any rate, let's go ahead and continue. With the powers combined between Joseph and Byron, they observe nothing new about their environs. Jermaine and Marcus are shimmying down that ladder. Down that, we're good. And
Alright,
barring
well,
no
Byron.
interaction, oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Byron will slowly make his way towards the ladder. I don't know how close he is to it, kind of to get the information as soon as possible. Whatever they saw. I'm assuming they look a little agitated, maybe, so.
Okay.
Ouroboros symbol is the symbol for Clan Samitsi. And it was
And
actually
that
moving.
symbol was... It was moving and changing color.
Byron is going to take a moment to process it, and he's going to say, right, what are we still doing hanging around here?
Leaving.
If Byron does take a few seconds to look back up at the billboard, he'll notice that the Ouroboros has relocated to its original destination, or its original location.
Here, I'll be back in just a minute. Jermaine's just going to keep following everyone around and watching stuff out.
Okay. So the three of you head over towards Joseph.
I basically tell Joseph what I told Byron.
Great.
Ouroboros
So
symbol. Samitsi. Leave.
great. So it's the entirety of the Sabbat that's going to kill us. Well, at least it took some effort.
I'm just gonna say right now, if it's a Sabbat we're gonna try to kill us, there's probably gonna be a Samitsi involved, at one way or another.
Yeah, but at least we aren't being off by some little group of nobodies. I mean, if there's multiple Sabbat involved, at least it's something before, we all face the sunrise.
I mean, it could just be a bunch of neonate Samitsi in La Sombra.
Well, whatever it is, it's probably a good bet that it's going to lead us somewhere. I mean, it's best hint we have. As for the moment, though, I think it's best if we leave immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Byron's going to say, we went out here to poke an anthill, and I think we might have done that. So let's GTFO.
Yeah. Also, if you're gonna take a cab, don't use the Metro Cab Company because I think they're owned by the Samitsi.
Noted.
So I think we all pile on into the van, Jermaine gets into his car, and we drive away.
Okay. You three kindred pile up into the van. Joseph's ghoul looks at you a bit confused. Says, what's happening?
tell her, I'm assuming I keep them relatively well informed of everything that goes on, even if it's not so evident from the group. So they actually do have both my ghouls have a good idea of the sex and the politics. I obviously don't feed them every single detail I learn, but they do know what vampires are, relatively our limitations, and I'll just tell her it's probably Sabbat related.
Okay. Where am I driving to?
Story, unless someone else has different opinions.
Nope, I say,
As long as we're going away from here.
yeah, I would say back to the office. We can collect our stuff and regroup or whatever, figure out what to do going forward.
Back.
Oh, good. I thought that we might have to delay a bit. A recrap? Recrap. God damn it, Grimith! Fuck.
Gonna recrap in Greenwich Village.
Yep, a quick little recap. You scaled down the ladder, told Byron. Byron's like, cool, let's leave. You went to Joseph, told Joseph. Joseph's like, cool, let's leave. Jermaine's gotten his vehicle. The three kindreds have gotten in your vehicles. All of you will now be allowed to make perception plus awareness rolls. Not alertness, awareness. The difficulty for this will be 6.
Well, at least I didn't botch.
4 successes from Jermaine, a failure from Byron, 2 successes from Marcus, and 3 successes from Joseph. Well, Byron is looking around a bit impatiently like, we're gonna go. Jermaine, and in his car, as well as Marcus and Joseph in the van, they hear this, rather, it's low-pitched at first, at a very low volume, but increases it up. It's a rather menacing and threatening and spine-chilling, or spine-shaking or whatever, a roar. And it's emanating from the Muncie Hudson Expediting and Storage Complex. Immediately afterwards, before any of you can react, there is a sudden blink and a lance of furious, bright red light streams out of the darkness of the building. It slams itself into we'll say the side door of the van that's facing, that's actually closest to the building, and the van begins to teeter, almost as if it's about to fall from the weight of it. Jermaine, you have a very scary image of this just horrific lance that had just slammed into the vehicle carrying your 3 kindred.
Alright, let's see here. I'm going to blare my horn to try to encourage them to get their asses in gear. Pull out my pistol and get ready to shoot at something if it comes out as they get out of there. I'll follow shortly thereafter once they're moving.
You 3 kindred in the van. The van is teetering and shaking, almost as if it's about to fall on its side. What do you immediately do? Byron is, of course, completely surprised by this, but Marcus and Joseph kind of heard this supernatural roar, followed by, what the hell was that?
What the
Also,
fuck was
someone's
that?
shooting fucking lasers at us.
Aw, hell no.
Shit just got real.
Marcus, Joseph, what do you 2 want to do?
Get the fuck out of there.
I want to As soon as I realize we're getting hit, I want to start crawling to the back and try to reach for my shotgun.
Okay, you two do that. The ghoul in the driver's seat is freaking out in terror, having not heard this at all, completely surprised by this. The van is shaking even more now that Joseph is crawling to the back to grab his shotgun. Byron, what the hell is happening? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna yell drive, and if rain doesn't start up, I'm going to, I don't know if the circumstances will allow it, but I'll try to just dominate her to drive. I mean, I don't even care what direction. She just needs to get the F out of there.
Okay, you can certainly command her to attempt to do so.
Right.
Sean, you have an idea of how much willpower she might have?
Middling. I don't know what the average for humans isn't. Average like 4? Isn't that like average?
Sure, we'll go with that.
I think
Okay.
that's right. Yeah, it's 6. Okay.
Responding to your very forceful command, the ghoul snaps into action out of her surprise, quickly turns on the engine and slams hard on the gas. Oh dear. However, she has, I made a possible, like, a drive roll for her, and, she, I had to ad-lib some of her characteristics, but it didn't matter, because, she rolled 3 ones.
Well, this is gonna end fun.
Does
She,
the transmission seize up or something?
She slams on the gas, and the sudden shock of everything completely topples over the van. It falls on its left side, with the wheels madly spinning in the air. And the side that was struck by whatever the fuck that was is now pointed up in the air, along with the passenger side door. Germaine, honking the horn in an attempt to insist that the vampires suddenly leave, has now then responded with the vehicle suddenly falling on its side.
Clearly they needed a mercenary. Alright. I'm going to drive up right next to the van and push open one of the doors and scream at them, "Get in!"
Alright, you 3 vampires, as well as the ghoul, not gonna take any long-lasting damage from this, but you all are suddenly jumbled around, and all of you and your equipment ends up jostling and moving as well, as the van has suddenly fallen on its side. There is another roar from the Muncie Hudson Expediting and Storage Company. Worth noting that, for anyone who might have heard a werewolf roar before, this doesn't seem like, you know, those things of legend you've heard about. Certainly they wouldn't live in an abandoned building. They like live in Central Park, right?
And shoot lasers.
Yes, and lasers. You 3 kindred who are within the vehicle are able to react now. What would you all like to do?
Marcus is going to pick up his axe, because that's probably something you don't want flying around in a jumbled up car.
Going straight for the shotgun and then straight out the back door.
Pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll draw my gun, do the same.
Alright. It's a little bit awkward passage, but you guys are able to do that just fine. Joseph's ghoul is struggling to get out of her awkward seating position, and so that she can properly follow all of you. Jermaine, since you're out here in the vehicle and I screamed about, go ahead and give me a perception plus alertness, difficulty 8. That is a 2 successes with the 1 canceling out 1.
Right.
It looks like where that beam of supernatural light hit, there is a resulting impact on that right-hand side, passenger side door, right in the middle. The metal has clearly crumpled up, and it almost seems as if the light broke into the van itself. And there appears to be a black scorch mark, roughly the size of a dinner plate.
Right, and I'm sure that I would recognize it if I was David right now.
Yes. Instead, it's just a curious observation for your character.
These
Okay.
things are fucking scary.
Yeah, you all are out of the vehicle, and I presume you're going to pile into Jermaine's car as well?
Yes.
Are there any objections from Byron or Joseph? Would you two like to do something else?
Only after I'm sure Rain's in.
Rain is going to be slower than all of you, but she does eventually manage to wrestle out from under his seatbelt, and she swims past the fact that, you know, the van's on its side and everything, and she has some minor scrapes from the sudden impact. Just not as tough as a vampire, but she manages to make it out. There is another lance of red, hot, searing light. It, actually, it's a bit off. It, rather than striking any of you or the functional car, it actually hits the engine block of the van that's on its side. And the van suddenly goes flying from the force and goes spinning a considerable distance down the road.
As soon as everyone's in, I'm not even waiting for them to buckle their seatbelts. I'm just fucking going.
I hope you got insurance.
Yeah, how long did you have that van? A couple days max? That sucks.
Jermaine floors it. And go ahead and give me a dexterity plus drive here. We'll say difficulty 7, given the tenacity of the situation. Jermaine.
And I assume that military reflexes does not apply.
Well, it's a quick, heated instance where you're responding to an immediate sense of danger to get the fuck out of harm's way. We'll go ahead and say yeah.
That's nice.
Dexterity plus drive then, that's 2 successes. Yeah, your tires peel, and they skid a little bit before they quickly grab onto the road, and you rather artfully avoid running into the van that's still bouncing a bit. And then there's another roar, which Byron still can't hear, but that very much is echoing from the building as you dart off into the city.
We going back to Astoria, or you want me to stop and wait for whatever's chasing us?
Are you sure it's chasing us?
No.
Well, Byron will say, well, you can drop us off at a metro station, and we can make our way back that way, because he doesn't want to use those cabs after what he's heard. So
I can take you back.
You're going to Astoria anyways, just drive straight there.
Then I do just that.
Alright, it's about 4:40 by the time the 4 of you get back to Astoria. 2 hours and some change before sunrise.
Well, I guess there's some shit going down at that place.
Clearly.
Byron's just going to say, what the fuck was that? Kind of rhetorical. But
There was something destroying my new car.
Can I actually roll intelligence plus occult now that we're somewhere safe to try to see if I can identify whatever that crazy-ass red light lance was?
Sure. Go ahead and roll the dice.
Can other people do this as well?
It's Jermaine who's had the thought.
All right.
It's
Fuck.
that is not something that you know about at all. Certainly not something your Dominator sire told you about or showed you. It's nothing you've seen in your years of doing contracts.
I guess Byron might have been trying to rack his brain what there is of it. I mean, he has one point in the cult as well, so well, I can try, I guess.
You can certainly try.
Yeah, no.
Have no idea what that was, and you never even heard the roars.
Nope.
You motherfucker.
Marcus doesn't know either.
I hope
I
that was
think
at least difficulty 6.
Me too.
0 cult.
Alright, can't even check them. So no, none of you have, talking amongst yourselves, have no idea what the hell that was. How does Jermaine go about describing what he saw and witnessed to the others?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, how is he talking with these 3 vampires who he just met on this night, and he's already been through all this crazy shit with them, and obviously he had a different perspective, being how he was behind the van rather than in the van as it was hit.
Well, he's going to explain exactly how he saw it happen. A lot of detail and very little actual emotion or opinion on it. He's going to very much stick to the facts.
Okay.
Including that he has no damn idea what that was.
I have no idea how we're gonna deal with that thing.
No, Byron's just much like me sitting here right now, just shaking my head like no idea. I mean, I guess we go back to the realty office, and I don't know. I don't know what to do from there.
Well, to be fair, all that weird stuff happened after me and Jermaine fucked with the sign, correct? So... me thinks it's something that they have to deal with the Samiti. I didn't see what it was, so I can't honestly tell you anything. That's 100% true.
Well, we're just gonna have to find someone to ask about it, I guess. I mean, I don't know where we would do that, but maybe someone. I mean, who knows? I mean, someone's got to know what it is, right?
I guess. It's about the only lead we have was that place, and now that we know that there's something there that doesn't want us there.
Well,
we
I
don't
mean,
know.
Jermaine during the day can go back and see if that hobo is in there and maybe question him. I don't know what you get out of him. Maybe we can learn what was going on inside there when we were getting smacked about.
If that hobo's still alive, I expect that he is involved.
Oh, I'm sure. I was just waiting for Jermaine to say, hell no.
I'm not sure how much exactly you guys told him about the Steinway warehouse, but it might be worth mentioning that you might want to ask Cutter. No, right? Was that her name?
Yeah,
Leslie Cutter.
You might want to ask Cutter about what exactly attacked them there, if you guys can get back in contact with her somehow.
You actually might be our best bet there as well, because after the whole Anarch thing, we're kind of persona non grata there, aren't we?
Well, and more to the point, I can actually ride the ferry during the day.
Right.
But the vampire that we would want to ask would be asleep.
Well, I mean, you could get over there, then wait until night, which I'm not saying wouldn't be dangerous.
I wouldn't even know where to begin looking.
And she doesn't know you either, so why would she even talk to you? So, huh.
I'm not much of an investigator.
But eventually, as you've continued your talk in transit time at 4:40 a.m., you all make it back to O'Malley Real Estate.
It's now going to occur to Byron, probably it didn't in the car after, racing away, but he's going to ask Rain if she's okay and apologize for being so forceful, if she cared.
She's fine. It's been an uncomfortable ride getting back here, but she's okay. She has minor cuts and bruises, but being mortal, her flesh will naturally heal over time on itself. And nothing that's debilitating her in any way, shape, or form. It's just might take a day or two for her to get over the pain and shock of it, combined with the fact that you gave a mental scream in her head, which basically said, "Drive!"
Yeah, and that's what he's apologizing for, because, you can't imagine that was very pleasant.
I've been through worse. And this is pretty much exactly what you paid me for.
Oh, I thought you meant you, like in real life, like it was one of the voices in your head. Okay, that makes more sense.
Nah.
Okay. What would you all like to do now? You're outside O'Malley Real Estate at a pretty quiet night. You're looking at 4:40 in a Sunday morning here. Not a whole hell of a lot of activity. Certainly not around here. No foot traffic. Very few cars. Or on the streets. Anywhere active at all. This is kind of like a business area of Astoria.
Well, guys, I think we're gonna have to come up with some more leads, because the only lead we had, it's kind of a dangerous one.
Yeah, it's really just that Ouroboros symbol, and yeah, lasers and growling that Byron didn't hear. So, yeah.
So, Jermaine, you're gonna check in with the Anarchs, I assume?
I wouldn't even know how.
Yeah, that's probably a useless line of trying to search them down without any way of being able to.
Well, I can, tomorrow night I'll head down to the Toreador place, the art music, their exhibit, and see if they know anything about this Ouroboros symbol and these Metro Cap companies.
I guess Byron will get Evelyn looking it up. She's not an investigator, but she can find rudimentary information, like where their home office is, if they have one, and that type of stuff.
Is there anywhere in particular you gentlemen want me today or tonight?
Byron will chime in and say, well, perhaps you should, go get some rest, but you might want to come by here and introduce yourself to at least Evelyn, so she knows who you are towards the end of the business day. I'll let her know you're coming. But other than that, no.
Actually, if we could get a ride back to my church, that would be useful, considering we are currently lacking a car.
Of course.
Also, just as a thing, I mentioned to want to mention to everyone to grab your weapons so we don't have, firearms laying around our offices. At least until we have a good place to keep them.
Right.
Mark-
Yeah.
Marcus is going to nod.
Yeah. Byron goes in and gets the stake. I guess you can leave the smoke grenades because I don't think those are illegal. It might be a little out of place. But he'll get the stake, the vest, and the gun from the basement.
Well, you might as well pick it up so it doesn't end up somewhere where we can't find it. I mean, you might as well keep it with the rest of your shit.
Fair enough. He'll take his grenade as well.
Marcus will grab his duffel bag of ammo and his new favorite shotgun.
If you want to leave any of your armaments in the trunk of my car, that's fine.
That would be helpful. Can I just leave my shotgun and my ammo in your trunk? Because I honestly don't want to carry this all the way across Astoria. It'll look out of place.
Feel free. That's why I leave most of my heavy weapons in there.
I'll drop the grenade in there, but I'll take the vest, the gun, and I guess I'll drop the stake in there too. I don't think Byron's going to need it at his house.
Give everyone an idea, like, as they open the trunk to put their armaments in, what you have in there.
Oh, alright, let's see, I'd have... Well, I'm still wearing my Kevlar vest, so I guess I'll take the opportunity to put that back in there. I'll put my axe back in there as well. I've got a semi-automatic shotgun, some kind of semi-automatic Saiga or something with a large drum magazine, a high-powered scoped rifle, an enormous medical kit, a whole bunch of walkie-talkies, and those like metal ammunition cans that the military uses. I got a few of those in there too. I mean, it's nothing too much.
Of course not.
So yeah.
Yeah, Byron doesn't know half of what he's looking at, but he'll be appreciative and say, "Nice stuff." You're probably gonna know he's full of shit.
Oh God!
The car was actually under you all the entire time, but I decided to make it bigger since none of the tokens moved.
Well, I just realized that I would have been talking for like 5 minutes at Aaron's character, but I hadn't been pressing the push to talk button, so yeah. So when
Beautiful.
Marcus is going to go like, very nice, and then he's going to unceremoniously just drop his bag of ammo and the semi-automatic shotgun in with everything else.
That's fine. The only thing you got to really watch out for is the scope on the rifle.
I mean, he's not going to just like throw it in there. He's going to be like, plop, and he'll take his axe back to his own place because why not?
So you're gonna carry an
Also-
axe out around Astoria then, Marcos?
No, I'll put my axe in the axe that I got in the
That's a
trunk of the
car?
Yeah. Yes.
I was wondering what that giant metal bug thing was.
It's your vehicle. It used to be the
Yeah.
coterie's van, but bad things happened to it, so it's now been turned into
I got a classy ride.
Oh, on that, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I don't know if Jermaine's going to want to do it or not, but he might, when it gets daylight, he might want to go there and at least rip the, well, I don't know if it even matter, but you've got that van there that's going to be traced back to Joseph, right? I don't know what can be done about that.
I mean, the engine block is printed anyway, even if we take the
Yeah.
plates.
That's what I was halfway through thinking of that.
That said, the engine block might have been completely destroyed by that second blast.
I'll just report stolen.
That's really the best option.
Some kids took it for a joyride around the Bronx, some rundown area in the Bronx, and then they did some weird damage to it.
Well, obviously, he wouldn't know where they took the vehicle. He'd just know it's stolen.
I mean, more to the point, who's going to disbelieve a priest saying that his van was stolen?
Especially with that aura of sanctity he has. Come on, man.
Exactly.
And I mean, if they don't believe me, what the hell are they going to do? We drove up to a place and looked inside what looked like an abandoned building. I mean...
And then exploded the van ourselves.
Yeah, and then exploded our own van.
You just feel like littering.
The same building that a car burned up 2 weeks ago. Popular warehouse building, trash heap, whatever it was.
Okay, so I'm just going to put this out there, but what if we call in a police tip that some crazy-ass shit is going down inside that warehouse, and just kind of watch the results?
Well,
I like that idea.
speaking as the storyteller here, your character would already have a fair idea of the incident that happened here in New York City, where a drunk driver crashed into the building and there was a police investigation around it, hence the remnants of the police tape. Ultimately,
Yeah,
was determined there was
fair
an exit. So the investigators have definitely had the opportunity to be at the building.
Hey, if I report it stolen, I probably get money from the insurance. Awesome. I might be able to get into the van.
Next session, that van gets destroyed. Like, fuck!
Maybe you just shouldn't buy vans, man, you know? There's other cars.
Nah.
Well, I mean, unless you can fork over the money for something like a tank, because that's the next step up for van.
You like, dear Matt, can you get me a tank?
Army surplus Humvee. I mean, come on. Arnold Schwarzenegger
You got the money,
has one
I
by
got
this
what you
time.
need.
I want van because I want something close, something where if something happens inside, it's not for everyone to see.
Did they have Humvees in '98?
Yeah, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger had one. I think he got one mid-'90s. He was one of the first people.
Really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'd have to double check, but I believe so.
I think it'd definitely be possible to get one. It's just that, you know, with the atrocious gas mileage, I mean, gas is over $1 per gallon. That's really expensive.
Yeah, you're right. It would cut. We would lose too much money spending money. We would spend too much money on gas to actually get anything out of it.
Now, I think the players are doing research now into this.
I'm just staring at the screen trying to think of what the heck to do because this whole session has kind of put me off balance a little bit.
Just because I have to say it, Wikipedia says 1984 they entered service.
Yeah, it said that they were first widespread use was in the Gulf War.
So there you
But
go.
Laren has a good idea. We just buy bicycles for everyone.
Ah, that's a good idea. Get them reinforced. Get everyone some celerity and potency.
We are not doing this again, no. I left the last group conversation on Skype because of this shit. We're not doing this again.
But anyway, pretty much what we have to do now is get more information and then act upon that information. Because the primary information gatherer in our group is kind of in torpor.
And this character's replacement muscle, not replacement investigation.
Right, it's going to be just looking at that one lead, the Ouroboros company, I guess, and shoot, I mean, beyond that, I have no idea.
Next time you guys see a blue Sudan, you should remember the license plate number.
Most of the time they don't have license plates.
You don't have a license plate.
You're right, I don't.
I'm right. You don't. If you guys don't have anything else, I'll just drive you all back to your havens or near your havens.
Yeah, I'll just walk back to my place.
Yeah, Byron will be the same. He'll take the metro and walk.
That's a little bit more difficult for me, so if you could drive us.
That's fine. Or you could take in a Rubberos taxi.
It's a metro cab.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said a Rubberos taxi.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like potato, pistachio.
Pistachio?
Yeah, no,
It's a word, look it up.
Marcus falls into these.
Well, I'll drive two back. You and your ghoul.
Okay, that's all you characters wish to do. Time has been continuing to tick away while you've all been looming over this trunk full of weaponry, standing outside in the cold. In that case, Marcus and Byron arrive at their domains. There's not much time left before sunrise. And eventually, Germain brings Joseph and his ghoul companion to Flushing Queens, the non-denominational church.
I'll make sure to grab my gun out of the back.
Okay. You separate then. Germain, where are you going to be heading? I presume back to that little place you leased in Astoria?
Yeah, I'm gonna get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Then go back to the real estate company and introduce myself as, you know, being, well, not to everyone at large, just to, you know, the ghoul management. And then, if there's nothing else after that, I'll probably just go about doing my normal daily stuff, like buying groceries and other, you know, human things. And then get another couple hours of sleep before this evening when everyone else wakes up.
Okay. Time passes relatively uneventfully during the day. You do introduce yourself to Evelyn, who got a curious voicemail from Byron about weapons in the basement. You know, she's been sort of looking around, but all the weapons ended up getting left in your trunk, Germain.
Right.
Introductions pass fairly eventfully enough. She, you know, accepts what you end up saying on face value about it, since Byron did mention something about it in the voicemail as well.
Right, and I'll mention that I'm working for Byron and his associates.
Okay. No attacks end up coming across you, nothing suspicious or crazy. There is a whole interesting incident, you know, if you check the police blotter reports about this curious van. But I presume since had Joseph decided to report it stolen before he went to sleep?
I'd assume in the morning, because that's probably when I would realistically first notice it.
Right. So before you went to sleep then, you reported it stolen.
Or rain can, or whatever.
Yeah, certainly one of your ghouls can. Perhaps Craig, since he didn't go out with you. You go ahead and report it stolen. It's tracked down, found severely damaged. No evidence is found to, like, say or exactly knows why the situation happened, but you'll begin the slow and taxing process of getting reimbursement from the insurance company. Woo, bureaucracy!
I'm not getting that money back, am I?
I don't know. It'll just it'll take some tooth and nail. Eventually, night falls again. You're now looking at Sunday, January 5th, 1998. It's a very cloudy night. Moon is still in third quarter. A little bit colder today than it was in the prior night, but no precipitation, so there's no snow or ice on the ground. I'll go ahead and send you all back to the big map.
All right. Assuming I've been given a key at this point to the real estate office, have I?
Yeah. Byron would have asked Evelyn to give you one. He wouldn't have had an extra one, or yeah.
All right, then I will be waiting there as of half an hour before sunset with, coffee, dinner, basically just get myself prepared for the night.
Okay. I need for you to make a, since you did not end up having to do this at the beginning of the session, Aaron, what I want for you to do now is make a willpower roll at difficulty 6.
You got it. Right, I forgot to do that.
Okay. No, I was Jermaine, Aaron. I figured that for the purposes of having your character introduced to the party, I wasn't going to make you do that at the beginning. But since we're going to transition into another day here, what the hell? Oh yeah, you definitely pass. You're fine. There's a time whenever you're sitting there in the vehicle, or perhaps, washing clothes or buying some food in preparation for your work, that your mind begins to trail, and you see that beam of light that shot out from the warehouse that you just didn't understand at all, but nothing paralyzing or crippling.
Just nope.
Just nope. All right, vampires. Go ahead and subtract a point from your blood pools as you arise. Of course, Byron ends up waking up about an hour before the other two vampires. What sort of things are you all looking into doing?
Marcus is going, after he wakes up, which is going to be after Byron, is going to be heading down to the... He's going to be heading down to PS1 Contemporary Art Center and seeing if the Toreador have anything, they know about this Ouroboros symbol, the Metro Cab Company, and all a bunch of other things. And if he feels it's in his best interest, he'll drop the rumor that the Ouroboros, this cab company, is owned by the Tzimisce.
You're going to talk to degenerates about a cab company.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, I assume that the both cover story and the way that I'm getting paid is as a night security guard at the company. Is that accurate?
I believe so.
Yeah, I actually, Byron probably would not have told Evelyn all of that just in the rush of getting out of there. But you could have told her that. She'd believe it. She knows you're working for us anyway.
She would definitely want to hear it from Byron.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm planning to do is go...
You're her employer.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily saying that
yeah,
that's
I'll let her know.
established now. I'm more saying that that's what it's going to end
Right.
up being.
Right. I just mean that Byron probably didn't bring it up. If she calls and asks, he'll mention it, and next time Byron, I mean, if it comes up, definitely he'll mention it. If she says, what is this guy doing for us? Then he'll say it, if he doesn't think to. But he's going to go, the first thing he's going to do is drive directly down to the office and see if there's any information he can find, or maybe Evelyn found during the day, or even Jermaine, about the Metro Cab Company.
Okay. Joseph?
Mostly spending time considering how viable it would be to burn down the entire Bronx, but I don't think I have anything to actually do, so it's mostly heading straight to Astoria and hanging around there.
So are you going to be bringing the normal vehicle for the purposes of this?
Well, I gotta bring some vehicle.
Right. Who's going to be your driver today?
Rain is, and unless I'm expecting to be killed, which I really should have all the time at this point, but yeah, Rain is.
Okay. Jermaine, you're spending time loitering about whenever Byron comes and he arrives at the O'Malley Real Estate Building.
Hey, what's the news? Byron will say.
No news.
All else considered, probably a good thing. Did you meet with Evelyn? Everything's going okay there?
Everything went just fine. Introduced myself. Seems like a nice enough lady.
She is, and her toughness has been proven at least once or twice in the past few weeks.
That's unsettling.
Yeah, I don't think she's pretty happy about it, but she's behaved whatever. Anyway, so yeah, do you know if she looked up anything on the Metro cab company or left any information with you? I doubt she would have, but he's going to ask anyway.
Not as far as I know.
All right. Well, I guess Byron, at this point, will take the chance to check in with Evelyn, and this is when he will actually tell her who Jermaine is, because I'm sure it'll come up, and he will ask her. I don't think I actually left her a message or look into it, so that's probably all he'll say.
No, you did not. She understands though. She'll begin the process of looking into that information, although she doesn't know exactly what she's gonna find that you couldn't find basically by doing like a cursory search of like records and stuff.
Right. He's going to mention that. I mean, he's going to go in there and he's going to try, a computer search if he's allowed, because he has 0 in computer skills. So what is this search function? How do I use it?
Well, according to the book, if you don't have anything in the computer thing, you don't even know how to use a search engine.
Yeah, well, it's like the general user interface. That's what you get with the first one, is you can operate it, and that's basically it. So, yeah, hopefully Jermaine has one point in there. We can look for that stuff.
Computers are a little bit new for me.
You're both staring at the computer screen. What do we do? I think this operates that function.
Press
I think
the
they
any,
Blue
turned it on.
screen.
press any key to continue. Which one's the any key?
Pretty much.